Hey there, this is Buğse, and today we'll learn about teaching ESL to adult learners. In language teaching, we focus on 4 basic skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Let's get into it with reading. Reading process is divided into 3 stages: pre-reading, during reading, and post-reading. Pre-reading activities aim to activate students' prior knowledge on the topic. This phase involves brainstorming, making predictions, and discussing related experiences or concepts to prepare for reading. Collaborative learning is also utilized to aid lower-level students and encourage idea sharing. Free writing in ESL aids idea generation, fluency, confidence, and planning, promoting continuous writing without pause. During reading activities, aim for students to comprehend the text and apply reading strategies to extract meaning. Jigsaw activities involve students working in small groups to read different sections of a text, becoming experts on their assigned section, and sharing their knowledge through group discussions, thus enhancing comprehension and critical thinking skills. Graphic organizers such as tree diagrams assist in jigsaw activities by visually organizing text, aiding focus on key points, and enhancing comprehension and retention. Post-reading activities aim for students to reflect on the text, deepen understanding, and extend learning. Students evaluate personal traits, engage in activities such as categorization to improve higher-order thinking skills, and participate in surveys to evaluate the information they have learned, synthesize, and relate it to their own lives. This personalizes the learning experience and promotes meaningful interaction. Writing process is divided into 6 stages: pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, presenting, and publishing. Let's focus on the most crucial stage, pre-writing. In the pre-writing stage, students engage in brainstorming activities to generate ideas for their writing. They then create an outline to organize their ideas and decide on the structure of their composition. Teachers draw attention to target language structures and vocabulary related to the writing task. Teachers provide models of the target writing structure or genre and engage students in practice activities to reinforce language structures and writing skills. Homework tasks related to the writing assignment further develop students' ideas and language skills. Integrating grammar into real-life contexts makes learning more engaging and practical for adult ESL learners. Here's how we can do it. First, use personal examples to create relatable contexts. Ask questions to stimulate interest and correct errors by offering alternative versions. Then use presentations or activities to elicit grammar usage naturally. And facilitate pair activities and provide feedback focusing on key grammar points. Use questions and activities to check comprehension and have students create examples. And ensure understanding through guided practice and self-assessment. Incorporate Q&A sessions, role plays, and information gap exercises. Use activities that involve making assumptions and sharing information. And conduct tasks or discussions to evaluate understanding. Benefits of integrating grammar into real-life context can be learners seeing practical applications and enhancing motivation, building real-world communication skills and confidence, and contextualized learning.
Now we will move on with the other basic skill, listening. A good listening lesson has a clear structure: warm-up stage, pre-listening stage, the actual listening stage, and then post-listening stage. In the warm-up stage, the teacher introduces the topic to engage students and give them an idea of what they will be doing. In the pre-listening stage, the goal is to activate students' prior knowledge and generate initial ideas about the topic. During the actual listening stage, students listen to the audio 3 times. First, to grab the main ideas and context. Second, to pick up specific information. And third, to refine their answers and add any details they missed. Finally, in the post-listening stage, students process what they've learned by expressing their thoughts and feelings about the listening activity. Moving on to speaking activities, it's essential to distinguish between activities that promote accuracy and those that enhance fluency. For accuracy, which is the foundation for effective communication, you can use activities like co-constructed dialogues, poster presentations, interview groups, TPR with partner, matching activities, and lineup activities. for fluency, which allows students to communicate ideas smoothly and naturally. Activities include information gap activities, sorting activities, one-question interviews. These exercises focus on helping students speak more freely and confidently without worrying too much about making mistakes. Now, let's see how to build literacy with emergent readers. It's crucial to use a variety of strategies to help students not only learn new words, but also understand and use them in a different context. Here are some effective steps. Let's say we're working on a text. These steps should be followed. Introduction, working with the whole story, working with parts of the story, and lastly, returning the whole story. Introducing new vocabulary in context, such as through a class-generated story or thematic discussion, helps students see real-life word usage. When working with the whole story, students read the story silently to familiarize themselves with the text. The teacher reads the story aloud while students follow along, aiding with pronunciation and intonation. The teacher reads the story sentence by sentence, with students repeating each sentence. To engage students in activities that reinforce vocabulary learning, we can use activities such as word families, recognizing word order, and flies marking.
Created using Powtoon.
In this section, we will talk about grouping, assessment, and beginner levels in adult ESL. In random grouping, systematically and randomly, students find their pair, and in intentional group, mixed abilities students, more professional and less professional, and lack abilities, similar abilities students can work together. And lastly, in a whole group, there are random interactions and students support each other, and there is a task for a whole group. And there are 4 types assessment. First one of them, instructional objectives and outcomes. Lessons start with assessment, for example, homework control, correcting mistakes, and different strategies and tasks. These are brainstorm, task-based assessment, questions, unconsciously correct, practice in lesson, and self-assessment of students. During the all-lesson assessment, teacher always asking question for students. In practice, teacher is observer and teacher giving feedbacks in activities and provides feedbacks on progress to inform instruction. It is meaning that students evaluate themselves, and so teacher can easily plan future instructions and activities for students. And there are some special activities used by teacher in this self-assessment. These activities are need surveys and green card, red card game, and like questions, assessment questions, I can blah blah and I can't blah blah on these green and red cards. Building literacy with adult emergency readers. So it is meaning beginner levels. In here, a whole class generate a story together, teacher shows picture and students doing brainstorm about these pictures. This is language experience approach. And here students repeats important sentences with teacher and pronunciation on the single words with teacher. And then there is a word order game. In here each students take a word card and they are create a sentences with these word cards. And recognizing sight word, the aim in here, students use new learned vocabulary in game and spelling activities with teacher. In here, building fluency, teacher teaches the stress of words but doing this with a TPR, so physical activity.